Hello and welcome to another video where today I already feel like I've made quite a grave mistake by wearing an extremely dark top against what is quite a dark background, which makes me look on the screen like I'm a floating head, but I'm just going to go with it because we are where we are. So in today's video, I'll be giving you some advice on exam preparation and how to use mock exams in order to prepare for your real exam, because I feel that not everyone is using them to their full effect. Now, there are multiple ways in which you can prepare for your exams, and there's no one size fits all. But with that being said, I think there are a number of things that I would highly recommend doing before sitting your exam. For starters, make sure you read the examiner's reports. These have been released on the AAT Lifelong Learning Portal. I have mentioned them before in my previous videos, and they give you an insight into the difficulties that students are having, including the key topics that are consistently seeing poor results. Make sure you address what's in the report and take extra care when revising those areas. Next on the list is stop rushing through the material. Now, for me, this is an attitude that is quite difficult to challenge and to fix. The majority of what we experience in life now makes things easier and quicker, and we all, including me, don't want to spend any more time than we need to. The difficulty is trying to apply that approach to learning something new, because more often than not, it doesn't work. So you may need to take a step back and go back over what you've learned, and that may mean going through the full book again, but considering none of the books at AAT are that huge, it shouldn't take too long going through it a second time, and if it does, I would question whether you knew it very well in the first place, in which case it was the right thing to go through it again. Some of the best students I've taught wouldn't even dream of touching a mock exam until thoroughly going through a book twice. Which leads me on to my next point, which is about how you're using mock exams. Now, mocks are one of the best revision tools that there are, and not completing the mock exams before sitting the real thing is probably the biggest mistake you can make. However, what I've found is that people aren't using them as effectively as what they could be. Some of that is down to timing, and some of that is down to what comes after sitting one. In terms of timing, you should be going into a mock exam with the full intention of passing it, not getting 100%, but having a solid attempt. And if you're marking it and you're getting 40%, you've gone for it way too early. And what you've gained from it is very little, because what you've learned is that you need to go back over nearly everything. Now, if it's a case of you want to know the format of the exam, which I have no issues with, in terms of marks and the topics for each question, you can find that within the examiner's report. Now, what you're far better off doing is working through a question bank if you need more practice, and there's plenty out there. And then once you feel confident, then sitting a mock. The other issue you may be facing is not using the mock to its full potential once you've completed it. Excluding the mocks that you may have within your books, there are 2 AAT mocks on the Lifelong Learning Portal available to everyone as long as you have an active membership. If you're sitting these back to back, you're not using them in the best way. Once you've sat the first mock, you need to take the time to review your answers and revise those areas. Now, this will involve asking why you got it wrong in the first place. Is it the question where the wording threw you off? Is it a topic that you're struggling on? Is it the concept that you're finding difficult? Once you've done that, I would actually then recommend sitting the same mock again, because the chances are you won't remember the answers. Now, if you get them correct second time around, your revision has been effective. But if not, repeat the process again, asking why it is you've not got the answer correct and why the additional revision hasn't solved the problem. It would always be worth trying to work backwards from the answer or lining up an example from your textbook side by side and working through it step by step. And at this point, you should see at what stage you are going wrong. At this point, I would then sit the second mock, because this should give you a great idea for if you're ready to sit the real exam. I would expect to see the vast majority correct at this point, and for there to only be certain questions where the wording may have thrown you off. For my students, I would want them at a stage where they're achieving 90% and above on the mock exams before they go into the real exam. Now, I fully appreciate that the process I've laid out takes time, and I'm under no illusion that it takes time and effort to properly prepare, but you'll potentially save yourself some stress and money in the long run if you can ensure you're properly prepared for sitting an exam. Now, if you have any questions at all on what I've said, drop them in the comments below and I will pick those up for you. But that does wrap up this video. Remember, if you found it useful, to drop it a like and subscribe for more AAT videos. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.